I'm hoping this picks up everything that I'm trying to communicate in this video, because I'm about to do the dishes, but I'm also supposed to record this. And I don't know if it'll capture everything because the water's going to be running, but we'll see how it goes. I think something that we don't often think about, at least I don't think about as much in my 20s, is leaving a legacy. But I think that is super important, especially an eternal legacy that can last on even after we leave this side of eternity. Something I want to do, and I encourage you to do too, in this video and throughout this video, is I'm going to share a series of questions and answer them personally. But as I do that, you should answer them for yourself too, because yes, this video may be specifically about what's going on in my life, but I think these questions can be applied to your life and that you can answer personally and assess for yourself. Okay, what time is it? It is 5 o'clock. I just finished work, and Kat's on her way home from work. I'm working remote this week because we just had 2 hurricanes that came through Tampa, and the building that we're working in is not functional right now, so we're working remote and get off right at 5, so I'm able to do this right away. But before she gets home, I need to do the dishes and get everything all situated because I want her to come home to a clean house, and I know she would appreciate that, and that's something that helps this marriage and this family run. So gotta do the dishes, but also gotta talk. So before I keep talking and finish the video and not do the dishes, I'm going to start the dishes. Oh man, this is so funny. So currently I am in Tampa Bay, like I mentioned, and working full time. It's October 20, wait, no, what day is it? It's October 17th, 2024, and I am 24. So in the midst of my 20s, trying to follow Jesus, but also enjoy this season of life. Married, Kat and I don't have any kids, so we're living the dink life for sure, and it's really fun. I'm enjoying it. We're getting out of debt. We have over 6 figures of debt, and that is a behemoth to try and pay off, but we are really cruising through with just discipline and generosity of others to be able to accomplish getting out of debt. So that's the first question. Where are you currently? What's going on in your life? What is the immediate things around you that you can talk about? Whenever I record, my mouth gets dry, and I don't know why necessarily. I think it's just because I get like that performance mentality and I'm trying to think about what I say, and as a result my mouth gets dry, but there's nobody here except you. So part of the reason why I'm even doing this is because I want to document over the next 10 years at least, honestly. Big goal. I know. I want to document my faith journey, and I want to document what's going on and how that relates to my spiritual walk with the Lord. I think something that's interesting and that's unique, not necessarily to me, but something that I think is uncommon is despite every transition, so from high school to college and then college to the corporate world, the work world, my faith and my walk with the Lord has increased. Oftentimes I hear that once you go to college, you will lose your faith. Once you get into the workforce, you will lose your faith because both seasons you are surrounded by new people, new pressures, new rhythms, and it's easy to slip out of them. However, in my personal life, both times I pivoted to those new seasons, my faith has grown exponentially. And so this video isn't, this entry isn't really about how I did it, though I can get into that at some point in another video or some other material, but it's really to give a month overview of where I'm at, what I'm chewing on, and how the Lord is working in my life. That's redundant. I said that probably a million times by now. But hey, work in progress, and this will be a journey. So, where are you at? What is your baseline of things going on in your life? What am I reading in the Bible? Right now, I'm reading through Proverbs. I just recently finished reading through the entire Bible. It took me a little bit over a year to do that. And afterwards, I said for the rest of the year, because I finished the Bible in September, I want to read through Proverbs, one proverb a day, until the end of 2024. So right now, I read through Proverbs 25 this morning, and before I read through the entire Bible, I never was able to get through the entire book of Proverbs. Why? Because I'd get to like chapter 12 or chapter 10. Actually, no, 12, 11 or 12. And I would just give up. I would lose my rhythm. I would lose my routine because I was so focused on making sure I hit the next chapter rather than falling more in love with Jesus and saying, I want to spend time with you, and therefore I'll carve out that time to do that with you. What's the main thing that I'm learning through the reading that I'm doing? I think the main thing that I'm learning is surrendering to the Lord and being faithful to Him. So far, and so many times so far in the Proverbs, it talks a lot about the fool and the sluggard and what happens as a result of laziness, but also just foolishness. Being led by emotions, being led by your feelings rather than the fear of the Lord and the wisdom of God's word. And so I'm really learning and trying to apply what it looks like to be faithful and surrender my ways to the Lord. It's easy for me to surrender in other ways, in other areas, like, God, I know that you handle friendships. I know you handle relationships, the people in my life, and I can play into that, yes, but ultimately, you're my source of the ultimate relationship that I need. And so I surrender the relationships in my life. That's easy, but what's hard is surrendering things, for example, like when I'm anxious, I want to try and self-medicate by the things around me or the things that I think will bring me the pleasure and the comforts to satisfy and soothe that anxiety. But even in the Word, it talks all about how, for example, the lies of adultery, the lies of lust cause so much destruction and so much damage, and it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't, though your feelings may crave it and want it, that doesn't mean it's good necessarily. So in this stage right now, I'm learning surrender my ways to the Lord, every part of it, not just compartmentalizing. Is that the right word? Compartmentalizing certain areas of my life to say, okay, I can surrender this part, I can surrender this part, I want to hold on to this part, but every single part of me needs to be surrendered and submitted to the Lord. How am I doing that? In the mornings, I'm trying to is the right word because I haven't been good at it, but trying to give the thoughts that I have to the Lord and submit the feelings that I have to the Lord first thing in the morning. Because I know that if I set my day in the morning straight with God and aligned with God, then the rest of the day has a much better chance of glorifying the Lord than if I am selfish in the morning, do my own thing, and then try to take on the day all by myself without any dependence on the Lord. I wrote down a bunch of the questions that I wanted to ask in these video entries, but I'm blanking right now. Oh yeah, what's my memory verse right now? What's the verse that I'm memorizing right now? It is Proverbs 5:23, and don't have it at the top of my head. I'm going to try and practice it right here. So Proverbs 5:23 says, for lack of discipline, something along the lines of like, for the lack of discipline, he dies, and because of his great folly, he is led astray, or something like that. Let me fact check that. Let's go to the word. Currently reading an ESV. Who knows? Maybe that'll change someday. NASB, thinking about that one, but we'll see. I think I'll forever be an ESV fan unless something crazy happens. Okay. Proverbs 5:23. Here we go. Got it. I was pretty close, actually. It says, he dies for lack of discipline, and because of his great folly, he is led astray. That's the verse I'm trying to memorize right now. Okay. I already talked about what God is teaching me. What am I proud of lately? This is something that is a struggle and kind of challenging for me because I hear a lot about in scripture, like, don't be proud, don't be prideful, don't be proud. But I think there's a difference between being prideful and being happy, being satisfied with the work that I'm doing. I think something that I'm proud of right now is my consistency in the word. Why? Because I never used to be able to, because it was always a chore for me. It was always something that I knew I needed to do, started to, but then gave up because something else in life came up. And so over the past year, leaning into the Lord through that time in the word, through that consistent quiet times in the morning has impacted my life in ways that I never thought could. Actually, I did think they could, but I just never thought that would actually happen in my life. For example, I feel like I'm in constant prayer with the Lord throughout the day because I know how much I need Him and how much I am dependent on Him to get me through the day. I'm also proud of having recently finished the entire Bible. And that's not something for me to be proud of, to boast to other people, but to know between me and the Lord that, hey, I've read through your word. I've read through the book and the truth that I base my entire life on. The cornerstone for my life is something that I've fully read through and is something that I can say is true in my life. What do you want to improve right now? I think something that I want to improve is specifically with Kat and I's relationship, my wife's relationship, is not keeping a scoreboard. It's easy for me to keep a mental tally of, okay, I did this, so she should do this, rather than saying, wait a second. As a married couple, both pursuing Jesus, we are called to be one. And right now, with a scoreboard, there's two separate teams. There's no team. There's no winners and losers. It's we both win or we both lose. And so the tallying is so exhausting because it makes me not want to do things for our family necessarily, because I'm like, oh, I have to. Because I did the dishes, now she should do that. And instead of being like, wait a second, this is the same team. There's no opposing teams. And so whatever we can do and whatever I can do to keep the family running smoothly, a well-oiled machine, like, just do it. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I've done it. It doesn't matter how many times she's done it, but let's just keep it doing, like, let's just outserve each other, and let's just run full speed ahead, run side by side together, doing what we need to do to get our marriage even stronger and healthier and reflecting of God's image. What is something that I would tell, you would tell your future self or your future kids? I think the main thing that I would say right now is don't waste this opportunity to mature in Christ. That's something that I read in a book called Be Mature by, I think, Warren Wiersbe. And it resonated with me because in the midst of a trial, in the midst of a season where it's really hard right now, so much changed in such fast timing that I just feel so exhausted and run down every day. And so it would be a waste to use this time for anything other than pursuing Jesus hard, because He is the one that will calm my nerves and hold my anxiety and heal any worry or stress that I have. So don't forget the season that you're in right now, because, well, actually, don't waste the opportunity to mature in Christ, because I think the fruit of it will far exceed what I think it'll produce right now. I think leaving a legacy is something that we all need to think about, and that you need to think about, because it matters. And I want my time on this earth to matter for the kingdom. Maybe I might not see it right now. Maybe I won't see how my life will still leave a legacy afterwards. Like, maybe I can't see that right now, but maybe I can do things that I think may have an eternal impact and that will outlive me, because I know that His Word is eternal, and I know that He is eternal, so that the investments that I make into eternity will outlive me. If you happen to make it this far into this entry, comment "pour over coffee," because I had 2 cups of it today, and I see it right now in the sink. So that's the secret word, secret phrase for you to let me know. If you haven't been told this already, you have so much beauty and value, so don't forget that, and remember that you're so loved by the King.